Welcome to Never Too Late for Fitness Radio, bringing baby boomers proven strategies and innovative products for getting fit, staying fit, so you can live a longer, healthier, and happier life. Here's your host, best-selling author and fitness advocate, Phil Ferris.
This is Phil Ferris, and welcome to our show. Never Too Late for Fitness Radio provides answers and straight talk about fitness, nutrition, and healthy lifestyles for people over 50. Our goal is to educate and advocate health and fitness strategies that help you live a longer, healthier, and happier life. On some shows, we feature companies or fitness industry professionals who share how they help their clients who are 50-plus achieve their goals. Other shows feature everyday people like you and me who have acted and reclaimed their health and fitness. We all love a success story, especially if the person is facing similar challenges we face. Hearing real success stories helps inform, motivate, and inspire us to live a healthier life. Today's guest is Jill Skidmore. At 70 years old, she's as busy and active as ever. She runs her own tax accounting business, is an active grandmother, and is a gold standard of fitness at Palmieri Personal Training, where she works out religiously. Thank you for being on the show, Jill.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil, for having me.
Well, Jill, just to kind of get everybody to understand a little bit about your background and who you are, can you tell us a little bit about what you do for a living and your approach to health and fitness?
Would be glad to. Like you mentioned in the intro, I do run my own business at 70 years old. I do have an associate. We are very busy. I am a very active grandmother. I have 4 amazing grandsons, and with having daughter-in-laws and sons working, we were very much a part of watching them as they are growing up. They are now 11, 9, 8, and 5. And with boys, you are definitely physically active. I would say in my background, I was always very athletic. I was a tennis player, a golfer. I did do that in what time I had. But physical fitness was something I didn't have. And after sitting in a desk for over 40 some odd years, I found it necessary to try to strengthen, my body. And another part of my background is I did lose a mother and my sister to cancer. And at that time, it became, very clear to me that, your immune system and other things need to be strengthened. And I am not one to be a pill taker or supplement hormones, which wouldn't have been an option anyway. But I wanted to just do everything I could to be physically fit and stay healthy in a natural way, and not in anything that would necessarily mean substituting, other things. And that's where it came for me to really start thinking about, I'm athletic, but I'm not physically fit. That may not be the case.
Okay. Now, you've been working out with Mark for how many years?
I'd say it's probably been 6 or 7 already.
Okay. So yeah. Can you describe how you decided to start working out with Mark?
Well, when I decided about this to do more to go into fitness as opposed to just worrying about being athletic, I joined a health club. When I got to the health club, you realize there's all these machines, there's everything going on. I may be, as I said, athletic, but I didn't know how to use these machines. I didn't know how to determine what to do for what part of my body. And I knew that I wanted, everybody would always say, let's lose a little weight. And I wanted to tone and know better nutrition. And the best way to do that was through a trainer. And seeing Mark at this health club at the time, before he was in his own business, he had so much energy. And I think when you work out, energy is so important. Because even if you're not having the greatest day or something, I could just see him with other people. And I approached him, and we started working out together, and the rest is history.
Okay.
Because he's amazing. Huh.
He is. He's one of the few people that's always on.
Correct.
Whenever I've been around him, some people get on when they're, on stage, but he genuinely has that kind of energy. So that's
right. And that's the big word I think I would use too. The other thing that I became more aware of, obviously, as I was working with him, is that he works with all different ages, all different body types, and I so appreciate the fact that when he sees me and he sees how I'm working out, if I'm not doing something right, if I don't seem to have what he needs for me to have that day, he knows how to switch that and turn that around to make it still a very, very energetic workout. We can't all be on 100% of the time. We have things in our lives that do determine our mental capabilities sometimes, and it just was so nice to know that I did not have to worry that he would not be able to adjust the workout for what I needed that day. And it's just really great.
That's important to be able to dial in.
Exactly.
It's not just the individual, but for that day, because they say, bring it to the gym and always give it 100%. Well, my 100% yesterday may not be the same as the 100% I bring today, even though I'm still trying as hard as I can. It's just not fair.
Yeah. I mean, like we say, you have busy lives with your grandchild, and we do, and things happen in your life on a daily basis that can affect what you're doing that day, just like it would when you're going to work. So it's like he has to be able to, adjust to that. So, and he does that, and I just, you appreciate it because when you're going in there, you are going to be safe and you are going to be secure and you are going to have an energetic workout. And the communication between him and I is fabulous. And that's a very important thing, too, I believe.
Okay. Can you describe a typical workout or maybe your favorite workout? Just give an idea of what a woman of 70 would go through in a workout.
Yeah.
People make a vision, a woman of 70, maybe she's out there in a walker, or she...
No. No, he definitely, based on your capability, he works with that. I am fortunate that I can work out with him more than once a week. Usually it's 3 times a week. And a typical workout, would be on a particular day necessarily. I think a big part of my training started out being flexibility. As we get older, we are not as flexible, and we notice that with my ankles and with, balancing things. And so a typical workout is always starting out with stretching, then doing flexibility, and then a lot of times half of the day will be all upper body, which I do love. I love using the machines and stretching, and it's good for your shoulders and your posture, and also, doing lifts, which strengthen the arms, and also then other days will be lower body and with lunges and things like that. So, it depends on the day, but, he goes through the different parts of your body and makes sure that, he covers certain things in that week span. Every time I work out with him, I would have to say we always do ab work, which we women really appreciate. Tighter the better. And, I love doing the dips and I'm trying to think, the dips and and squats and things like that. And so, I wouldn't say there's any, I guess the thing I love the most is when we do the stretching of the arms and when we use the machine, and I don't know all the names of it. That's why I need a trainer, obviously. But, the triceps and the biceps, I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. I am 70. I'm little. And I don't want to look like I compete or anything like that, but I want definition. And when you can see the results on something that fast as he does with the arms, I love doing that. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
How has fitness changed your life? Now that you've kind of adapted this as part of your lifestyle.
Right.
What kind of changes have you seen?
I just seem a lot more energy. Can you tell in my voice? My personality? Yep. No. But anyway, but I just think it's part of my life, just like going to work every day was, and producing and doing the best job I could for the firm I'm with, or now for my clients. I believe if I'm going to put the time in, I'm going to go all out. I think I am very self-motivated, and I think anybody else would be too. Once they see certain results, you become self-motivated. So I don't only just work out with Mark. I do work out other days of the week on my own. He knows, he says, take a day off already. But I feel like doing it gets me going. I think it increases, everything inside, my health, my, the way he has had me eat with more protein after a workout. You may have wanted to get to that question, but I believe that was a big thing. Working out with a trainer, knowing how to eat after a workout, the protein intake, I have more energy. I feel like I am stronger. And as I said many times before, I was athletic, but now I feel strong. I feel like that I, I walk, I can do everything. And I think that just changes your attitude every day. Living in Chicago in a climate in the winter with days that are so gray and can be so, demeaning sometimes when you get up and say, oh, we've got another day like that. Going and working out and feeling I've accomplished something for myself in a way that he has trained me to do, it has to make you feel good about yourself. And when you're feeling good about yourself, you've got the energy and the strength to be with your grandkids. I think you're a happier person, generally.
Okay. Can you give a specific example of when you realize, wow, I can do that, or I can still do that, you can directly relate back to the fitness regimen you've been?
I just think that after working out with him for a while and not being able to do a lot of the things originally when we started training, I couldn't do things at a certain weight, or I couldn't do the balancing that he wanted me to do on one leg and then the other leg, or one side would be weaker than the other. And I think what it's taught me is to be patient, and that does come. And when you realize, look what I've achieved. If I fall, I'm hoping I don't break a hip. If I twist my ankle, I'm not going to break my ankle. And I have seen that when I do things, I am able to do them, I think, as good as I did when I was a lot younger. And that I couldn't do before I started working out with him after, working, like I said, at a desk for all those years. So I think that, just any little thing, or when he ups a weight and he says, oh, my God, you're getting stronger. Look, I'm not getting bigger. I'm not getting any bigger in the arms. I'm getting stronger. And I can lift my grandkids. I could always lift my grandkids up. I didn't worry about them running at me and not being able to do stuff with them. I could do all of those things because of, the strength he's given me.
Well, and the fact that your grandkids are getting older and bigger. That you're going to have to continue to get stronger to continue.
I know. I have to constantly remind them when we're out there playing soccer or baseball, and then they think and they try to tag me out, and they just. They're all athletic and they're great. And I keep looking at them and I said, do you understand who you just did this to? I said, there's not a lot of grandmothers out there that are doing this. Please remember. I get black and blue sometimes, so it's fun, and I'm able to do them. I just think they look at me and say, but Grandma, you can do this. It's good. So
it's going to be a lot of fun when your grandkids look at you and, they're kind of aware. They say a lot of grandparents that take their kids to a park and then they sit on the bench and watch the kids play, and you're probably out there running around with them.
Yes, and that could be, like you said, one of the great, achievements of doing this. I guess I could say I don't know what I would have been like if I hadn't, because I started this before they, a couple of them were already born, but they were still very young. Would I be able to do what I'm doing now if I hadn't done that? I believe I couldn't keep up with that. I believe, cardiovascular-wise, I couldn't run with them. I couldn't do that if I wasn't constantly trying to, keep healthy and do things and eat healthy. So, it's my belief, that has definitely changed everything.
Okay. Now, everybody reaches a point sometimes where they kind of fall off the wagon or get off their fitness regimen for some reason. Life happens.
Right.
Have you ever had that happen? Where you just kind of got...
I think I am kind of fanatic on the nutrition-wise. I think I'm very careful. But, I go on vacation, and, Mark is always pressing on me, take it easy. But I work out when I'm away. I will work out in the gym or something like that. But, when I have had, a setback, I do have lower back issues, and we have to be very careful with that. And we always are, but that doesn't mean that I don't press it sometimes. And, not having a trainer and going to the gym myself, sometimes you rush yourself. You're not doing it at the pace you should. And it bothers me a lot when I pull something that I know I shouldn't have done that, because I should have been more careful the way I was trained to do it. But, you sit back and you do, you try to make do with other things. you compensate by if you can't do something and your back is a little sore, so you don't lift that way. You do other things. You can still walk. You can still use some of the machines and you ease the way out. And I do find, I don't want to jinx myself, but I do find that when I have had some setbacks physically, a little here or there, I would be glad to say nothing major, that by taking my time and Mark working on other areas and just being careful, I rebound pretty fast. I've been very pleased with that.
Well, it sounds like you've got a new appreciation for your body and how it works by working with Mark, so that you don't push it beyond what it needs to be. And that, you talked about the communication with the trainer is so important. Say, hey, my back's barking at me a little bit today, Mark. Maybe, we can adjust it. And Mark would tune in and say, okay, let's do these things because we're not going to put that in jeopardy. And if you're in my younger years, no matter what injuries or pain I had, I was going to work through it because that's what you did.
Right.
Which I don't do anymore because it's not smart. And just really to listen to your body is really very, very important.
I think that's exactly right. And another thing I do appreciate, I know we're singing Mark's praises a lot here, but he does, take a lot of different classes and everything. And when something like that happens, he has learned so many different stretching techniques and easing off of things that I appreciate the way, that when you say something like that, like you're saying that, or my back, he says, now we're going to, these are things we haven't had to do before, but we're going to stretch. We're going to use this. You're going to take your time and we're going to do it. And, and now I can incorporate those even in every day, even if I don't think I need it. I think it's very good to have that in your repertoire to be able to, do these, he'll lay you on a ball and you'll lift your arms or something. So you take the pressure off your back or you take the pressure off of something and you're still working out and you're getting a workout, but you are definitely not having that area that is right now somewhat inflamed or a little bit less than perfect. You're not compromising it at all.
Okay, and that's important because the last thing you want to do is to get injured and then be off for a couple of weeks while you're healing.
Yeah. I mean, that's my mentality. That's true. I need to show up in that gym, I guess. I don't know, wherever it is.
You mentioned a little bit about your nutrition, and I was wondering, you're a very busy person with work,
right?
Being a grandmother and working out. I know your schedule is always very tight. How do you fit good nutrition into a busy schedule?
I'm married to him. My husband's since he retired, he's an amazing cook, but we work together, but I plan ahead. In other words, I know that the protein is very important, chicken and certain things. I do have allergies. I can't always eat some of the things that I should be, want to eat with it, but we'll prepare it ahead of time and I'll do something and I'll have, I'll slice it into little individual things. And so then when I need that protein, I can grab it. You're right. Sometimes, working on clients, I may not get home till late. I do have an amazing husband, and he knows he may love to eat all those potatoes and certain things, but he knows I'm definitely vegetables and chicken and fish and pork, and I stay away from the fatty foods. I'm just I do, and I do enjoy eating the way I'm eating. And do I cheat? Absolutely. I mean there are certain sweets, dark chocolate, which is very good for your heart and everything, is a good little thing to have a piece now and then, and when I'm with my grandkids, if we're baking, sure, I'm going to taste it. But that's the way it goes. But I think as busy as you can be, I think you can plan for it. I'm not saying go crazy and make yourself nuts that you have to have all these things, but, I just feel that every individual will find what works for them. A lot of people, bananas are great after workout. For me, I tend to be a little more hypoglycemic. So although it's good carbs and it's good stuff, that sugar that's in the banana isn't always the best thing for me. So that I can't have. But for everybody else, I see them doing it. It's wonderful. So I think you need to, talk with your trainer, talk with a nutritionist if you have to, but know what works for you. And when you see the results of what you're eating and how you're looking and how you're feeling, it's what works for you. You don't have to worry about what somebody else is doing and saying, well, I can't do that they're doing. Now I'm not going to be as good. I don't believe that's true. I think everybody should just look at themselves and what they need to get out of it. And what works for them, I think is 100% great.
Okay. Well, that's some great insights. As you look back over what you've learned over the last several years, what would be one of the most important lessons that you could share with our listeners about adapting a healthier lifestyle that includes fitness and good nutrition?
Yeah. What I would just say again is kind of what I think I've said is I think one the hardest things is to get when you get started and you're nervous about it and you see all these certain people working out certain ways in the gym and you look and say, I have to believe again, you have to, I guess, look inside yourself. What do you really want to know? I think knowing what you want to get out of your fitness and nutrition is important. I don't think you can go in blind. What works for you? What do you like to eat? What don't you want to give up? What kind of time can you give? What kind of look do you want? How do you want to feel? You want to lose this much weight? Do we need to diet for a while? I think you think about what is important to you. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing or what they can do and can't do. It's what you want to do. And I think those who can go in and say, they want to lose 50 pounds or something like that, I think that's wonderful. And just take your time and don't think it's going to fall off. But once you see it happening little by little, I think it's that feeling alone is the impetus you need to keep going. You're achieving what you need to achieve. It's not what somebody else. I can be at the health club, when I'm not working out with Mark at his place or something, because there's some machines I still like at the health club. And I'll see some of these women day after day, and they're working on this one machine that I like to do. And there's a couple of them I see a lot, and I've seen, and some of them are losing this weight. And I just look at them and I say, you are looking great. It's so nice to see you here. Obviously, you're here as much as I am because I see you, and I think it's great, and you look wonderful. And I think, that's, everybody has to do what's right for them. And the minute you start to achieve it, I think even if it's just 2 pounds, even if it's just, oh my God, I see a little muscle, or oh my God, I've got this energy and I can't wait to go to the gym or work out with the trainer the next day. I think that's fabulous. Little by little and what is right for you. Because I can't tell anybody else what's right for them. I can only, say what's right for me. And that's another good reason, here we go again, that Mark, I think, is so individualistically tuned in to each person. He will not expect me to do maybe what he trains with you, what you do. I possibly can't do that, or I can't do something a 20-year-old can do. But there are times he will say to me, there are 20-year-olds that aren't doing what you're doing, Jill. So he knows each individual and how to do what they need. And again, that energy from a trainer, I think when you ask why a trainer, I think you need to get that motivation from somebody else at times, because they see the progress sometimes before you do. All of a sudden he'll say, Jill, your shoulders are back now. Your posture's not funny like it used to be. Or do you realize what you just did? You couldn't do that 3 months ago. I think working out on your own, sometimes you don't get that, validation right away. And that is another thing that gets you going. And eat just the slightest thing that will make you happy. If you start to eat differently and you say, you know what, doing this is working. I miss one of my things, so stick it in there, every once in a while, but you got to do what's, best for you. And be pleased with whatever accomplishment you have. No, you're not going to look like that person down there that's this cute little thing or something that can wear the bikinis, or maybe you don't. But if you look the best you can look, how can you ask for anything more?
That's great advice, and you're really competing with yourself,
right?
About being the best self you can be. And I think you gave some real good advice also about how to use a trainer. You're self-disciplined enough that even if Mark didn't exist, you'd be in the gym working out.
Yes.
But knowing how to use a trainer and how that trainer keeps you going and does things you can't do for yourself is important to understand, so you get the most of that 30 minutes or an hour that you're working with that trainer, and that leverages your time there. And I know that's one of the important things in your life is managing your time.
How it takes you further, not knowing how to do certain exercises is very difficult. I do think you need to have somebody show you the way, because I guarantee you there are ways I wouldn't be able to do what I do.
No,
are you there?
I thoroughly agree. That's really, really important to do it. It's not just exercising and movement. It's the correct exercise, the correct movement that gives you the result that you're looking for. And that's what a trainer can do, especially a trainer like Mark.
Yeah, because I was just saying, and Mark will always say, if I was doing this on my own, I'd probably finish working out in 15 minutes. I just rush. I rush everything. I'm always in a hurry, and because of time constraint or just my mentality. And he says, you're not going to get anything out of this. You're going way too fast. That was one of the hardest things for me to learn, is slow down. So I think even if you feel like you're not going to need a trainer all the time, take the advice of the professionals. It's like I'm an accountant. People can't understand math. Why would you do your own taxes? You take them to somebody like me. But the same thing with with working out. I wouldn't know how to use the machines. I wouldn't hold it the proper way. And like I said, I'd be done so fast, I would have gotten nothing out of it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Jill, I want to thank you so much for sharing your energy and your passion and your insights into fitness. It's been a pleasure. And again, I want to thank you for spending your time on the show.
And thank you. Thank you for even having me on. I appreciate it. And good luck to everybody out there.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jill.
All right. Talk to you soon. You too. Bye.
You've been listening to Never Too Late for Fitness Radio, hosted by Phil Ferris. To learn more about the guests or resources on our show today, or to listen to past episodes, go to nevertoolateforfitness.com.